also have their own wings by wings, if that will be the ultimate it'll be taking. Excuse me. Oh, I wonder if flapTZ would and Falcons would consider an R-Lot, because it's really great against the chip as well.
That's right.
If they want to continue answering that.
That'd be so good.
flapTZ on the R-Lot again?
That's his MPL Philippines Season 12 Grand Finals MVP winning hero.
I think a lot of us miss seeing that, but the Kimmy will be picked up by Aurora instead.
Yeah, a lot of space provided. So whatever Edward's going to be taking is someone who can hold the front line really well. There you
go!
That does the job. They got the gotcha.
All right, one more. We need a hero for Flap.
I really hope it's not something super passive like a high loss. I mean, he might actually just go for that just so that they have the access to the Revitalize, which most likely Edward will be packing as well, just so they can balance it out in that regard.
Man, if they didn't ban the backshot would be good right here, but
oh yeah.
Again, that's what the meta demands. Does the R-Lot still look good? I don't mind.
Yeah, same. I'm just R-Lot or high loss right now. It seems like a really offensive option wouldn't be the best bet.
Yeah, because you have to consider the Kimmy.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be easy for Aurora to just kite the heroes of Team Falcons if it ever comes to that.
Just place a Fanny too, and...
Oh, there you go!
Hey, this was in the keys to victory, right? Deal damage.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to take it slow, if you don't want to find or have a difficult time up against the Kimmy, then why not take an XP laner who can just hunt the Kimmy down? Who can just pose a huge threat to what Aurora plans to do in the game later on. So it is gonna be a damage XP laner we'll be seeing after some time. Finally, back in the hands of flapTZ, by the way. But overall, it's interesting how the lineup rating really favors Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora picked up bangers in every lane. Kimmy in demand across the seas in Malaysia, in Indonesia. They love their Kimmys. Here, we're only starting to build up to it. And if they can protect her, if they can protect Yue, then Rora should be looking at a fast game.
That's a Petrify Benedetta too, by the way. So we can expect all-out aggression. Casters, take it away.
The Champions Arena. We're about to load on into the Land of Dawn. A crucial match here for both the teams. Aurora and Falcons looking to move forward and not get knocked out of the playoffs. That's what we have for us. It's been nice to Ingan and Renmar to bring you the action. You guys saw the index there. I don't know how much weight we want to put on it, but Ingan, what do you think of the compositions for both teams?
You know, so far, again, KyleTZ, one of the best Lucas junglers, especially considering the fact that he's 2-1 in the playoffs right now with this specific hero. But flapTZ, from using the Bakshas to now using a damage hero like the Benedetta up against Edward, who is known to use this hero. It's going to be interesting how Falcons pull this off, considering the fact that Demon Kite has his Fanny.
Yeah, and looking back at it now, the Benedetta pickup solves the macro problem for Falcons in the sense that it was mainly just the Moskov as their main option for that. While Aurora had, again, the switch up between the Fanny, the chip, and how much macro and ground you can cover with those two heroes. Now that they have the Benedetta there with them, they can be flexible in terms of how they want to approach the objective team fights. And again, I put a lot of weight on the objective team fights because that's what Brigida and Leo mentioned, that this will all be about. A lot of these major sequences are going to be happening 20 seconds on end from the Turtles.
Oh, early engage here as KyleTZ already used to unleash the beast. Whoa, one more hit almost, and was able to take down Demon Kite, a turnaround for Team Falcons.
Wow, they might not be out of this just yet.
Oh, Renjay sets his eyes on KyleTZ, but he was able to dash away as flapTZ can't recall safely.
Man, the spell vamp, the regen that Lucas gets, saving KyleTZ. Renjay might be up next in the docket, and he'll be able to get away, but you and Edward are still here.
Oh, Ogwin up against you and Edward. So Edward soaking up the damage to not give any more deaths to Aurora, but now feathered airstrike from you, and both teams will disperse.
That looks so dicey on both sides for so long, and now the Turtle's up here. Falcons is going to go ahead and start it up. Demon Kite working on his purple buff, so he'll grab that. They'll go ahead and rotate in now. KyleTZ has his orange.
Yeah.
We'll see if they actually can commit to this. It looks like they're just going to go grab their buff for now.
20 seconds before and or after the Turtles and the Lords. It's going to be the timers we're going to be looking at here. no clear advantage because the sequence up top got extended. Kaltizi just got his purple buff. Demon Kite will be coming from the orange. Let's see if Aurora's going to contest this as Falcons has already started things off for Kaltizi in the bottom lane.
Oh, Phew cast his own shortcut down bottom. Almost got Demon Kite there.
Woo!
As Benajay answers back, here comes Demon Kite also. And be able to take down Kaltizi. One member down for Team Falcons.
Forget the turtle. Let's go fight bot. That's what they said.
Oh, they stunned
Flap!
out Phew. He was able to walk
Flap,
away. Flapteezy almost got Demon Kite there. Now ganked up by 3. Got stunned out, but able to escape.
Flapteezy hunting down you and almost even got +1 on there. He was able to walk away with a kill. Falcons eventually end up winning the trade, but they have to be very careful because Aurora have very good timing right now around that chip. They hella did not expect that Renegade is going to show up with his own shortcut.
Oh, title strike onto Renegade. Feather airstrike from Yue. One more hit on the Phew. And he gets him as Ogwin counters out with the Edward kill. Use the Tsunami Slam onto the middle lane to take him down.
Man, this is just a brutal match so far.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so much action. I feel like I'm watching an action movie. Now for the fight for the turtle.
Demon Kite tried to steal the Lord, but still Kaltizi will secure that turtle rather. And these two teams are known to be very systematic, but now it's all about clashes.
Nah, it feels like I'm watching systematic violence right now. Both of them have just subscribed to MMA. And I'm all in for it, but it's the old days of MMA when eye pokes were still allowed.
Ear bites.
Eye pokes, ear bites, all of that, no gloves.
Just everything else, you know. And
MMA for the streets.
yeah, at that point, for Falcons though, getting that first objective, that's going to be fine. And this is the thing, when you're looking at this for Aurora specifically, you're playing around the chip, like you mentioned earlier on. So Falcons, what do they have to do to kind of go against that? Do they just need to keep an eye on Renegade, and then how do they counter the shortcuts that kind of keep them on their toes here?
Yeah, that's mostly going to be it. Because if really, once you've started the sequence without knowing where the chip is and the chip has the edge over you, there's very little you can do. At the end of the day, it'll just be see if you can do your best to end up winning the engagement and counter it. But if they are going to be more systematic about it and really just wait for Renegade to show up on the map and then they pull the trigger in a sequence, then that could be one way. Flap.
Demon Kite against Flapteezy. No ultimate there for Demon Kite already used up, but Flapteezy survives.
Okay. Ooh, Demon Kite. Was willing to take hits from the turret. There, meanwhile, the bottom lane.
Now, Ogwin jumps in. Dominic was able to walk away, and he catch Ogwin instead. Few with the cast of the feathered airstrike, and again, both teams will disperse. But Renegade from the back, AOG paired up with Edward, and they take down Few.
Wow, Few, I don't know if he was expecting that or what, but quick response from Rora.
Yeah, why walk by Renegade? And as we were talking about, if the chip catches you with your pants down, there's very little you can do. You'll just be a deer in the middle of headlights.
Now, the last time we saw Renegade with the chip, but wait a minute, they're gonna go instead and go for the purple buff, take that away from Demon Kite, but he still got it.
That was smooth. That was smooth.
Yeah, very smooth moves by Demon Kite, Edward and Yue. Close here, but Falcons will not push the issue. Seems like Aurora are gonna be getting to the turtle first, as Super Marco is going to be opening up the map for Falcons. Let's see how heavily Falcons will contest, if they will, this second turtle of the game.
Yeah, Aurora having the lead that they have. They'll go ahead and plant themselves in position. Few holding on to the avatar of the Guardian himself. Both gold laners still up top. Yeah. But that's fine. Super Marco can just join the fight if he wants to. They'll try to go ahead and alleviate some of the pressure if they can, but hold on. Even in the bottom side.
Okay. Yue with a feather airstrike, but got interrupted by Kaltizi with the Unleash the Beast, though. Demon Kite jumps in, but gets caught out by Few. Kaltizi also falls down, but Dominic was able to free hit. Now he sets his eyes on Flapteezy. Might be able to escape, though. Dashing in, dashing out, but Renegade catches him as a double kill from Dominic Kite one again, and Renegade kills off Flapteezy.
Gratuitous violence. Aurora clapping back. They don't get the turtle, but Falcons have lost way too much in that engagement. Aurora now focuses on the tower in mid, and of course, Super Marco is stuck in farming mode right now because he is desperately behind Dominkite in the farm. Dominkite is at 6,000. Super Marco is just about to hit 5K. And with everything that Falcons did there, they were all just too clumped up that the chip would be more than happy to drop down damage and stuns for everyone. And that is all that Aurora needed. Meanwhile, up top,
Action-packed again. They're ganking up on Renegade as Kyle Teasy picks up the kill. flcn trying to escape there up against Edward, Dominkite, and Yue. Ogun jumps in as well. One casualty so far for Aurora.
Okay, so they ended up fighting up there, but yeah, Renegade goes down. Let's take a quick look. You were just talking about the items here. How's it looking, Renoir?
all right, for the two gold laners, only up to a golden staff is the Moskov. Meanwhile, already on the way to the Holy Crystal for Dominkite. I believe he has, if I'm not mistaken, that should already be 3 stacks on the Kimi Sky Piercer. If not, it's only 2. But still, that's a development that Falcons really need to watch out for, because everything that's happened so far has been them finding 2, finding 3, but then not being ready for the clapback. Again, this is one of the benefits of having a Revitalize in the lineup against a lineup that has no Revitalize. Those little seconds buy so much space and opportunities for your team.
Yeah, that does a lot of healing, and even if you decides to take the Avatar of the Guardian, you know, he doesn't have the Revitalize, so that's how they have to play around it.
Yeah, and with all the healing on the board, there's just a lack of dominance ices and anti-healing, actually. That has to be rectified by these two teams. There are glowing wands on the mages, but you need more anti-heal coming from both.
And you also have to worry about Dominkite already picked up a Holy Crystal. Interesting, went with the Concentrated Energy, paired up with the Sky Piercer. So now at the 3-0-1, not quite sure when he got those stacks in. It's going to be harder to kill Dominkite, harder to reach him, but expect a lot of damage from Dominkite.
It's going to be big here for that Lord once it's up. And if they decide to commit to it once again, this is going to be a little difficult for Falcons on these team fights when they're fighting around the choke points of the objectives. That seems to be where they struggle because it is so important on their positioning. And most likely at that feud, depending on what ultimate he decides to take, tends to change a course of a lot of these team fights that do break out. So again, we'll see if it's going to work out. Super Marco picking up the DHS now. He's got the 3 items that he needs. He's done relatively well catching up, at least to get into a fighting form, I'd say, here on the Moskov.
Okay. Radiant Armor already built up there for Edward, so that should help with the damage output that few could bring to the table. Plus, at the same time, that lowers the need for Edward to go back to base if ever he gets brought down too low. Good HP regen base on it. So now Falcons are going to have to contest this, but it seems like it's going to be difficult for them to find an opening because Rora, slow blitz, already no ultimate for this Lucas.
And then he casted the traction pulse also. flcn caught in the middle. Unleashed the pieces there, but flcn got bursted down. Renegade from the back as Demonkite having the time of his life, trying to slice and dice every single Falcon he sees, and 2 members are down.
Not a good fight for Falcons there. They get caught out, and now they're going to lose this Lord here. A big objective for Aurora to march towards the base of Falcons.
Off timing for flcn, and looks like a little bit of miscommunication on the side of Falcons. Aurora, again, what we mentioned about them yesterday, one of the best teams in the league this season when it comes to punishing the smallest of errors. They can just find massive openings in the game with that. And Renegade sniffed them out and saw even more.
Oh, look at that few, just so low off of a couple. Feathered airstrikes from Yue. And again, that's why the Farsa is so good right now. Are they ready for this defense?
Yeah, I think they're able to clear out the Lord and not lose any inhibitor turrets unless something happens, like a Renegade flickers from the back or the traction pulse paired up with the AOG. Can catch someone from Team Falcons. It could spell disaster for them, but still, the clear wave of Team Falcons can mitigate what Aurora's pushing right now.
Okay, base is held on to. The shields are all going to be popped though, so that they are at least, Falcons still get some breathing room before the next objective. About 2 minutes buys them time here.
Yeah. Honestly, right now, the hard part for Team Falcons is that apart from the gold lead that Aurora has established, Aurora has endless of possibilities to execute initiations and at the same time punish. There's the Traction Pulse AOG combo, not to mention Renegade consistently going from the back and casting that ultimate. And of course, Demonkite, the late entries that could clean up the initial damage that can come from Dominkite and Yue.
Yeah, Dominkite has dealt the most damage in this game so far, shared with Yue. They're both hovering around 30,000 damage dealt and climbing. While Super Marco, because he has been stuck with just trying to open up the map for Falcons, has dealt a measly 6,700. still just hovering around that in terms of total damage dealt to heroes. So Falcons now, the next few sequences, they're just going to be forced to having Super Marco with them since he's already built up with his trinity of the Scythe, Golden Staff, and the DHS. But again, there's only so much that they could do in this scenario. KyleTzy already up to a Queen's Wings, but that's only 3 core items. While Demon Kite is already going hybrid as he has his main 3 items, the Heptasis, the Malefic Roar, War Axe, and now he even has Antique Hurrah, so he has good survivability in case he gets caught by the main physical damage dealers in the side of Falcons.
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to pay attention to, too, is because Falcons and trying to catch up to this gold deficit that they have to work against, they might choose not to fight, you know, at least around the Lord, and rather in the base, unless they somehow get a big advantage from it because of the fact that they are behind. They have they have decent damage, but still, there's another big item power spike for Dominkite now. He's been pretty much chilling in the back lane, just able to, and that's always the case with Kimmy, man. How do you catch the Kimmy when you have it protected so well, especially with a Gatakacha and the chip? Yeah. It's too tough to get, and then, you know, you're forced into those team fights sometimes because of the Kimmy across from you. So they're going to go ahead and start up the Lord here. Falcons, we'll see if they really want to go ahead and contest this. You still have Ogwin up on the top side, making sure that Super Marco is going to be fine. Well, Dominkite starts this up. He'll hold it at half. Meanwhile, Demon Kite still at the bottom, but again, do they pull the trigger on this with this kind of lead? See Halbert picked up too. They're going to go for it.
Yue, Dominkite still has their Purifies as Demon Kite picks up the Lord without a sweat there. Edward might even go for flapTzy. Feathered airstrike from Yue and bursts down flapTzy immediately. Oh, but down to the bottom lane though. Team Falcons want to make quick work of View, but View is going to fall down. Now the counterattack though. Ogwin jumps in. KyleTzy joins the picture, has the Unleash the Beast, and we're working on Super Marco, but Ogwin is going to fall down. KyleTzy up against 3. There's the Unleash the Beast again, and he brings down Dominkite. But Edward, Yue, Renegade still in the picture.
KyleTzy is alone. He has used the Winter Crown. Can he buy time? Buy space? Still takes down Yue eventually to be shut down by Edward. And Super Marco is here.
Super Marco jumps in, dishing out the damage onto Edward. He might be able to clear out the Lord, but that was enough. Time bought
chip.
From KyleTzy. Renegade from the back. He has the shortcut. Demon Kite enters the picture. Wind of Nature. Edward has the stun. A beautiful taunt and bursts down Super Marco. Lord still up for Aurora. Team Falcons desperately trying to defend. They still have all their inhibitor turrets. And now Renegade just waiting for the perfect moment again to cast that shortcut.
Oh man, they're just going to clear this out, but talk about a response from both teams. First, the play from KyleTzy, then you have the shortcut from Renegade to put Rora back into it. But ultimately, what did it lead to? Falcons still holds on to the base turrets. I'm not sure if Rora can continue on, and we're back to where we were before.
Renegade, an all-star roamer this season, in case you missed our Alamat Awards. And Edward, they call him Mr. Consistent. Because when you need someone to make a big move with big consequences, you got to count on him to find that moment. He's 2-1-11 on this Gatakacha, and those taunts that he is dishing out all throughout this game have stopped Falcons from making some major sequences that could have changed the story of this game number 1.
So good right now between both teams, honestly, for a game 1. As they work for it. But I would say at this point, oh no, shortcut.
Another collapse for Aurora. Brings down El Capitan View. Ogwin used the ultimate though, but they're not being able to take down any members of Aurora. Super Marco can dish out the damage. AOG coming in from Edward. Renegade Immortality pop. KyleTzy working on Dominkite. Dominkite pops his Wind of Nature and Purify. And brings down Renegade. 1 for 1 trade. Speed of destruction from Super Marco. He catches Dominkite. Dominkite Immortality pop. Dominkite has to walk away. Purify casted by Dominkite. flapTzy soaking up the damage as Edward has to back.
No!
And Dominkite got eliminated.
The Bulletproof has found the mark, and there goes the Tsunami Slam by the Master. Falcons have found a victory, but in the middle of the map, it's Demon Kite.
Demon Kite pushing in onto the middle lane. Even Yue takes down Ogwin. 3 members after a call here, but few still was able to go back and clear out the mid lane.
Game 1 and it's already cinematic. What is going on between these two teams?
What a start to this series. Just when you thought Rora would continue dominating this game, Falcons have found moments, Falcons have found ways, and now they have their eyes set on getting their Lord, but Renegade, the All-Star, is here!
Here comes the ultimate! And still few will get the Lord. Demon Kite quite low, brought down by Super Marco. Renegade as well will go in. SOD! Super Marco again with a crucial play.
Is that a bird? Is that a plane? It's Super Marco!
And now the push for Team Falcons. They have a card in the middle lane. It's just Jue, Edward to defend. Feathered airstrike to clear out the minions. But again, the problem remains for Aurora. Team Falcons has the Lord up top.
Oh, and man, you've got a couple members of Aurora facing down Falcons. Can they stop it?
Oakwind jumps in once again. Edward soaking up the damage. He has his revitalized though, but until when can he stand it? AOG used defensively, has his immortality, but Team Falcons lock their eyes on the base, and a comeback win for the Falcons.
The team